Namaste, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across the planet around the world. My name is Greg Prescott from in5d.com, and welcome back. Just had Todd Medina on not too long ago. We just finished that up about 15 minutes ago, took a little break, and here we are back for a spirit chat talk. And before we get going, I just want to remind you guys once again to please check out in5d.net, where you can find these amazing shirts like I'm wearing right now, these high vibrational tie-dye shirts that have the sand of the 99.9 quartz crystal sand from Siesta Key infused into all the dye that I use for these shirts. So check those out at in5d.net. High vibrational. You can sponsor the page. Help sponsor us through that and or through Patreon, and we have different levels here. I've gone over them numerous times, but please consider one or the other to help sponsor this channel. Any help is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing I want to get to before we move on, actually, I got onto Facebook earlier today and actually did a live video for the first time, and I don't know how long. It's been a while. But they're shadow banning the crap out of me. I don't know how many people watch it, probably not that many. In the past, I used to get like 15, 20,000 views easily, because I have like a lot of followers, but because they're shadow banning me so heavily, screw Facebook. Next thing, moving on, check this out on the Schumann resonance. What the hell? What's going on here? It reminds me of, was it Vince Lombardi? What the hell is going on around here? It's an old clip of Vince Lombardi, the coach of the Green Bay Packers. But I mean, really, what the hell is going on around here? Look at this. And have you ever seen anything like, I've seen abnormalities in the Schumann, but not anything like this. This is pretty bizarre. So what do you guys think? Put it out there.
Like I said before you came on, there's something coming. Like that's
Okay.
why I created
Talk about it
today.
Talk about it, because before we got on, Desiree showed us this grid that she has, and she made a grid. All right, tell us.
I created this grid, and I had a play date with my daughter's friend today, and he came over with his daughter, and I was giving them crystals. I was just teaching them new things about crystals, and all of a sudden, like, these crystals popped up at me, and these have keys, like they're gateways. So each crystal is different. Each crystal has a different significant of energies that go on with them, and there's two of them. So there's that key. So it's just almost exactly like this key. Where is it? On the back, and it's just like that key. So then I put it together, and Commander Ashtar actually told me to put together, and they are telling me there's something that's going on with the pyramids and the light that's entering the middle of the pyramid, the biggest pyramid that's actually going to happen. And there's a being that's being brought into tonight or tomorrow or within this week. There's a specific being, I'm getting goosebumps talk about this, and he's going to flash here, and it's going to happen really big. It's I don't know, there's something going to happen, and it has to do with Lemurian energy, and basically it's like a timeline that's opening up, a porthole this is a porthole energy that's opening up that I've created, but it's all clear crystal quartz that's all here, 2 Lemurian quartz that come from certain parts of the world. 2 these are Tibetan quartz. I have 2 Tibetan quartz, and the rest are all clear crystal quartz. But the energy and a smoky clear quartz. I did a smoky quartz because the energy is grounding, and I did that in the center like a sun. So the energy is more like a Sirian, like big Stargate energy. Someone from Sirian or one of the bigger stars is going to appear within, in somebody's field, within, either everybody's field or, there's going to be a huge upgrade for everybody. So I did a live video on Facebook and created it, but I don't know if anybody saw it on there, but I thought it was pretty cool, and he had me incorporate the energy, but Yeah, if you can feel the energy, just let me know. And it's spread out numerous kilometers. So, but
I had something about the pyramids going on with me today too. So
yeah, there's
yes,
something happening. There's something
yes.
about to happen, and that's when you said the Schumann resonance, and there's three streaks, and there's something going on with pyramids at this moment.
Yeah, those started. Okay, so it's 9:30. They started around 2 o'clock this afternoon, and kind of continued right through, and may still be continuing right now.
Yeah, that energy. There's someone about to
Must
appear.
be where my hiccups came from.
But there's something about to happen, and it's a porthole. Something's connecting us all in this. If you're feeling high anxiety, if you're feeling very not grounded, this is time right now to ground and to center yourself right now. He had me put in the orgone with the red coral, which is it correlates with your root chakra, and then with the amethyst that correlates with your crown. So there's two energies. If you're not grounded, you cannot get the messages that are going to receive. So, and if you're not open, you're not grounded too. So I would highly suggest everyone to ground yourself before you get any of this information, or try to, go before you go to sleep tonight. I would highly suggest grounding.
I suggest grounding every day, but even more so right now, right?
Well, sometimes some people are automatically grounded, but some of us really, really sensitive people, it's an automatic. You have to ground every single second of the day, especially when you're so sensitive to everything. So, but I was just forewarning everybody, there is something going to happen. I don't know why, I don't know who, but I just got a weird message today, and this is what it played out today for me. So
It's interesting that you brought in the Lemurian crystals too, because I just had bought one, and you put them on your grid.
yeah, it has something to do with aligning yourself. And there's I don't know who the light body person or the being that's going to come in, but Ashtar told me to go ahead and get this grid all written up. So it's here, it's ready, but there's something with the pyramids. There's something.
Awesome. Bring it on. Well, if there's something with the pyramids, then there's something with Orion's belt. I had a vision one time. I was looking up at the sky, and Orion's belt was lit up like a pinball machine. And it was like almost in the figure, you could see the three main stars, and then the stars above and the stars below. And it kind of looked almost like a figure eight, but it was like it was lit up like a pinball machine, and they were all just flashing on and off. It was wild. And I think it has something to do with, as these energies are coming in, it's going to make all the planets do that. Our planet's going to be lighting up, and we're going to go through that as well. So
Sorry about that, guys. I keep losing my internet.
it's okay. So I pulled a card. I got these new cards, and it's the Animal Spirit Oracle book cards, and I drew a card. So our first card from this is deer. So what it says about the deer is loving, intuitive, graceful, the mother. The deer represents the feminine aspects of Earth's energy. The energy is available to all creatures, regardless of gender, but is especially potent in new parents. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing, and calm. Their inner beauty radiates a sense of grace, and it calms the room. A deer's personality affects others in this way, drawing them toward a quiet tenderness. The deer card may appear when a birth or celebration of a new life, a birth of maybe a new earth, a birth of a new life draws near, or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. So that was our first card from our animal spirit guidebook that we did on that. And once again, I'm going to go back to John Holland's The Spirit Messages. I love this deck. If you couldn't tell beforehand, and I encourage anyone else to, if you have Oracle cards, to join us and start thinking about what kind of cards you might want to do a reading on. But this card that I chose today before I came on, and I put the intention of what is in our greatest good as a collective, show me that card. This one says cleanse. And I think that I love this card. It's a wonderful, wonderful card. So cleanse. Your body, mind, and soul are urging you to take time out for some not much needed cleansing. Yeah, I know that. And I'm telling you what, chances are we're probably not having a chat tomorrow. Tomorrow is a Greg day and I'm going to do whatever I want. And, and it's going to probably involve the beach.
Well, that's cleansing too.
Yes, that's exactly why I'm doing that. Just as you wash your car, clean the house, or tidy your office, your body also needs care and attention. It's time for some spiritual, emotional, and physical cleansing. Spirit is reaching out with this card to help you cleanse and detoxify your body, mind, and soul. Spiritual cleansing is an excellent way of extracting destructive emotions that, if left untreated, can cause depression, anxiety, or even addiction. This card is proof that you can take time out from your busy life to cleanse. Make a pact with yourself to commit to rejuvenating your mind by practicing positive affirmations every day. One by one, you'll purge the negative thoughts, which will allow you to return to a state of balance and harmony. And that's really important for me, being a triple Libra, constantly out of balance. Drink more water during this time and cleanse your body by reducing toxins such as alcohol, which I don't drink, caffeine, don't worry about that. Don't smoke anymore, no nicotine, sugar, and other substances. Take long salt baths and get into nature so you can breathe in fresh, clean air. Allow the natural world to infuse your spirit with its healing properties as you cleanse and rebalance. You are a spiritual being as well as a physical being. Please honor both. Yeah, so I definitely can relate to that, to find that time, to take the time out to cleanse, to detoxify. A lot of us are going through that with, the fruitarian diet, where, that's a great way to detoxify your body. And if you find yourself going off a specific diet, find your way back on. It's not the end of the world. It's okay to, if you cheated on your diet, make your way back. You can do it. Or if you smoke and you quit smoking, but you had a cigarette, that's okay too. Find ways to overcome your addictions. At this point, it's really important, I find, to cleanse the body. And that card was reaffirming what we already knew. So I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? Does anyone have any cards or anything?
Mine
No?
are all packed away still.
Okay. What are you doing, Des?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
I'm
Yeah, what are you doing?
grid bigger.
You're making,
They're telling me to make it bigger.
okay. Is your table big enough?
Yeah,
Is it gonna,
it's round. Yeah.
is it gonna cover the whole table?
Probably I'll probably take the rest of the stuff off, but I put the orgone pieces on with it, and now I'm making it circular. Like, they're telling me to, like, something's happening with the three pyramids, like I said earlier, but it's happening in a circle. There's something happening in a circle. So now I'm getting these ones connected, but it's all connecting.
And you got your little hearts that you just made the other day on the outside of that.
Exactly. So,
Yep.
and that's the energy, is like love. It's all based upon love.
Awesome. Looking good.
So yeah, Greg, what Des is doing, I know she mentioned the pyramids and we've talked about Orion's belt, and she said something about the Syrians are coming in a lot. She's picking up on a lot of frequencies from Sirius. Well, the last 3 days, behind the scenes off of your show, a lot of couple of your fans have reached out to me, and we've all been talking, and we're all on the Sirius kick that we've known each other and things like that. And I actually just discovered somebody's YouTube channel today where she's also a Syrian, and she's over in Germany, and she had asked me to email her, and we're all just starting to learn things about our star family and everything. So whatever's coming in is definitely coming from the Orion's belt area for sure, especially. Really.
I agree 100%. And they've been speaking to me a lot lately because they're always over my house. The Orion's belt is always over my house, and I always look up and I feel them there. So I'm with you.
Every time I go outside, Des, to smoke a cigarette or something, the first thing I see is Sirius right there when it turns night, and I look up and Orion's belt is always there.
This time of the
What
year,
are you
yes.
seeing? Sirius A or Sirius B?
The whole system, the whole entire system.
But which one's drawing your first sight?
Well, both of us, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, both of them are?
Yeah. Because Des and I talked on Facebook the other
have some
day.
friends that are in the Dogon tribe they believe that the Dogon tribe is they believe that their ancestry is direct from Sirius. I'll see if I can get a talk to I'll be back in just a few minutes. That's why because everybody's seeing Sirius. I'm going to talk to the Dogon quick and see what they have to say. They'll know what's going on in that area. I'll be back.
But yeah, so Des and I have been talking on Facebook the last couple of days, and I've sent her some videos on star seeds, and I mean, we're starting to learn, I didn't really know that there was a huge difference between A and B, and the Syrian A population they're more of the Sirius, as in serious ones. Like they tend to really look at the shadow self and things like that. They don't put up with lies. They're very truthful people. They seek the truth. It's really hard to get anything past them. And then Sirius B, that's more of the water world, where you get the dolphins, the whales, the mermaids, the mer people, and things like that. And that's more of their heart centered. So their heart chakras are wide open on Sirius B. So they like to invite anybody to their planet. They really do. Even some of the dark entities, they're like, oh no, we just want to party with them and be their friends, and we welcome everybody here and things like that. And Sirius A people try to warn them, you gotta be careful who you let in. So it seems like Sirius A is more of a, I don't know what you would say, maybe they focus more with their third eye chakra, and Sirius B population, they focus more on their heart center. They're just very open. They love to have a good time, things like that.
There's a few articles on In5D that talk about, well, there's a ton of articles, obviously, it's thousands of articles, but we're just talking about the Dogon tribe, and it's interesting. Their whole story is really fascinating. They were able to see this indigenous culture was able to see a star system that we couldn't see with a telescope until recently, and they were visited by these people. The Dogon were visited by these people and were given, similar to the Mayans from Quetzalcoatl, they were given these stories of mathematics and agriculture. They were helped in various different ways. So it's really quite a fascinating story, and you can see almost the lid, where the Pope's mitre came from. you can bring it all the way back to the Dagon / Dogon fish worship, where they would cover their body, making themselves look like fish. And that's basically what the Pope's mitre is emulating.
Yes, yes. And the tribe that's in Ghana right now, the ones that I have made friends with, they are very, very, very Yeshua oriented, and they have original Enoch writings, the original books of Enoch. They protect them in a cave and everything. About 6 years ago, I had the money. I was fixing to go over there, and Murphy's Law, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. And I didn't get to do the trip, and I haven't had the money to do it again. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting. I'm waiting for him to get back to me. If he's available, I'll ask him questions. I'll relay questions to him, but I'm not sure if he's going to answer. He's one of the Dogon high priest dudes, and they follow the Catholic to a degree, but they're more like I am. I mean, I believe in Christ. I believe everything that he did for us. I believe everything in the Bible, to the extent that it's the truth, but I don't believe in religion. I don't believe in the man-made laws that the Pope teaches. They teach they say you don't do this, and you walk in and you see that that's exactly what they're doing. That's not what you're going to find if you go to a tribal church, especially the Dogon. I've like we're talking now, I've attended their meetings. It's really hard to get to make friends with them. It took me about 6 years, and I got lucky and ran in and met the heir of Ghana. Yes, they have a president, but they still have a king. And he was asking for help, for ideas he was asking for money for his people. And I said, you're asking a poor woman for money? That don't make much sense. I said, I'll tell you what, I can't give you money, but I can give you ideas. And he was showing me around with the camera, and they had all these, like, our Capri Suns, the packages that Capri Suns come in. That's what their water is in. And they'll drink the water and they just throw it on the ground. And I'm like, why is there trash all over your ground? And he's like, we have no other place to put it. And I said, well, there's many ways you can dispose of the trash. I said, but that trash there was one of the packages on the ground. I said, you can make a basket out of those. And I told him, I said, have your women cut it up into strips and weave it into baskets and stuff and sell them. He was asking me for money, so I gave him an idea. And that's how I made friends enough with them for them to actually discuss their spiritual beliefs with me. Oh, well, let me see what he said. I mean, because it's very late. Be back. Okay. It's closer to Earth than it has been. So we're feeling, that makes no sense. Oh, okay, that does make sense. So we're feeling the energies at a higher rate and a level, and so we're all receiving faster downloads.
What I'm wondering right now is that there, okay, so I'm looking at this one article about the Dogon tribe. It says every 50 years, the Dogon celebrate the passing of a Sirius cycle. And that might be what you're talking about here. Let me go with this. A tradition that they keep in honor of the Nomo. That is exactly the time it takes for Sirius B to complete an orbit around its larger, more well-known companion. So maybe that orbit is, you know, at its closest point to the Earth, which is why a lot of people are feeling that connection to Sirius right now. And what Matthew was saying too, their home planet orbits Sirius B and is a largely aquatic world. All legends describe them as amphibious creatures, very similar to our conception of merfolk. Their upper half of the body closely resembles the Nordic alien prototype, the blue-eyed, blonde-haired, tall humanoids. So, yeah, continue.
Basically, he basically said what you said. It's coming into an alignment type position where you won't be able to, they'll be in line, and instead of side by side view, they'll be in a line, and they're at their closest point. That's the way I'm in. His English is as bad as my African.
At least they're not doing the click thing.
Yeah, I really find that group of people interesting, but I don't think I can communicate with them. Basically, yes, it's also, he's saying the closeness of Sirius is part of the reason we're seeing so much flooding and rain. Because of their water, the amount of water on there and the amount of water here, and it just, I guess it etherically transfers along the magnetic field lines, is basically what he said. We share water is basically how it came out. And I understand that whenever you share, he and I can sit, like we're sharing our energies right now. The Sirius shares water with us the way we're sharing energy with each other. It's their planet, it's planet to planet communication, sharing, like the planets sing. You know that the planets sing, right? You can hear them. You can listen to this.
Each one has their own song.
Huh?
Each planet has their own unique song.
Okay, well, that through that song, they share, just like you and I are sharing, right? We're all sharing as a group. So basically, we're getting a little extra fresh water because what's going on this world is heavily polluted, and we need some clean water. And that's what he said.
So that
we need clean water. We're sharing water.
That article goes on to tie into what you're saying. They landed in a large spaceship, the Dogon, called Pelu Tolo, or the Star of the 10th Moon. This event is one of great importance for the Dogon, their first contact. At the same time, the Nomo ship was spiraling toward Earth. A new star appeared in the night sky, possibly a mothership from Sirius. The tribe described this star as having a swirling circle of reddish rays around it, and also say that it was stationary relative to the other stars in the night sky. The Dogon revered the Nomo and regarded them as civilizing gods. They are commonly referred to as the masters of the waters, the masters of the waters, the watchers or the saviors. So Yeah, the water thing, the water theme.
Yeah, we're moving, energy is moving. And, Greg, I know we all talked about people moving energy lately and displacing things. And I really think part of the event and part of this cleanse that we're going to receive is going to be a rain event too, with a lot of weather going on lately. And the other day, I was actually walking down the street because Desiree, with her paintings and everything, I said to myself, man, as soon as I get an income, I would love to buy something off of her. And I'm like, man, I just can't afford to get a painting right now. And I'm not going to lie, the other day, I'm walking down the street and I look to my right and I see two paintings on the side of the road. It's like someone just chucked them and threw them out on the side of the road. So the only painting that resonated me out of the two of them was this one. And it's in great condition. And I mean, it's nothing but it's water. I mean, look at that.
Ocean.
It's water. It's got a boat. There's like a moon here. It looks like it's at dusk. And I named it Tranquility. That's exactly what it is.
Beautiful.
It's Tranquility. And it was on the side of the road. I mean, it looked like someone didn't want it, but I'm like, well, I'll take it. I mean, I wasn't dumpster diving, but it came to me. Because,
Hey, come
I
on, I got
asked
some
for
of
it.
my best pieces out the dumpster, man.
Well, as I mentioned before, with that dream of those three tidal waves, water is immutable energy. It can be solid, liquid, gas. It's transforming. It's going from one energy into another. And I think that's the alluring component of water.
This is the age of Aquarius too, right?
Right.
Yes.
Water.
Yep.
How many people have been dreaming about the ocean lately? I have, just about every night.
Water's
My
been
dreams-
not
my
dreaming,
dreams have
but
been
water's
really
been calling
weird.
to me. I'm gonna try to get down to the beach on Wednesday. Finally, Greg, we're getting some nice weather. I think Tuesday and Wednesday, back into the 80s again.
Yep.
I'll be at the beach. I think I'm gonna go fishing down in Fort DeSoto for a little bit and go walk the beach down there too.
I used to take my German Shepherd down there.
Yeah, it's a nice beach. It is. It's a
They
nice
have a dog beach there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very cold up here still.
Yeah, when I went to the beach earlier today, it was freaking cold. Man, I did a live video. I was wearing a thermal shirt and pants and sneakers. I never wear sneakers to the beach. It sucks. But yeah,
I saw that video.
So hopefully hit the beach, do some grounding. Tomorrow, there's a drum circle. Maybe I'll hit that. Yeah, it's only supposed to be a high of 73 tomorrow. Only. I know I'm getting no sympathy from people in the Northeast, Northwest.
73. I like to sit out and get a suntan.
Right? No sympathy. If you're used to, this weather here, that's cold, but it's not unbearable. It's not as bad as what it was today. So yeah, it's very interesting that people are getting this water kind of message.
Did you see the flooding in Wales and all over there?
They had a huge system go through there.
Yeah, there are like tons of water everywhere there. They're definitely not used to that.
Okay, so this article goes on to say about the Dogon tribe, when shown photos of the most encountered alien species, the Dogon shamans identified them with the Nordic alien type, claiming that their tribe had met blue-eyed white humanoids long before meeting white men. As unbelievable as this story sounds, it is paralleled by many others worldwide, as they all share one common aspect. Advanced alien beings visited our planet, offering their aid and knowledge and being revered as gods. So Kukulkan, or Quetzalcoatl, whichever you want to call him, same person, whether it's the Aztec or the Mayans, was the same thing. Blonde hair, blue-eyed person that came from, I'm assuming, the Pleiades.
Right.
One of the stars in the Pleiades, which that one of the seven sisters is named Maya, M-A-I-A. So it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, the Maya were actually named after perhaps Quetzalcoatl / Kukulkan's home planet, or if we were seated here, or perhaps even the Maya were seated specifically here from the Pleiades, from specifically the planet Maya in the Pleiades. Who knows?
Benjamin says that the energy wave that is hitting us is a toroidal wave. A toroidal wave is when it's stretched out, is a DNA. Looks like a DNA strand.
Who's Benjamin?
My friend in Ghana.
Okay.
He's the Dogon shaman. He goes by Benjamin Wisdom sometimes. He asked, he just said bye, but before he said bye, he says, how do you always know these things and ask right on time?
Right.
I said, and he said good night to you guys. He's leaving. But I mean, I'm going to answer him real quick. But he said that when I answered that question, he said, I told him, well, didn't you say it was DNA? You know, and he did a ha because he understood what I meant from a previous conversation. Our DNA has, and they knew this before science proved it. Our DNA has the gospel, and not only that, it has from Adam to the end encoded within it. And they're just now finding out through the new research on DNA research that, hey, they're finding biblical text within the human DNA, biblical messages and stuff like that. And I'm like, he and I were talking about it the other day, and that's why he said the energy is toroidal, and I understood it to be DNA.
On YouTube, and thank you for that contribution. On YouTube, just jumping off topic real quick.
That's fine.
Jason is saying that he said he saw the beach walk that I did, and now it's gone off of Facebook, but I just refreshed the page and it's still here, which tells me that once again, I'm being shadow banned. I can see it, but other people can't. So.
I watched it just a little while ago.
Okay. Well, like I said, well, you and I can see it, but apparently Jason can't. And this is what happens. This is what it means to be shadow banned. Only a small group of people can actually see it, and other people won't. So, but I find this topic really interesting about the Dogon and Sirius. So
they are a very interesting people.
This is what the Dogon tribe look like. So that's how they dressed up, and you know, in honor of, you know, the people that visited them. So,
and that's the way we normally see it, but now the little one would be not visible, right, from their region.
Yeah, and that's what it says here. At this point, we should mention that the Dogon possess no astronomical instruments with which to study the sky at night. But despite this inconvenience, their legends mention that the Nomo came from a planet that orbits one of the two stars in the Sirius star system. So it wasn't until a couple hundred years later, here it goes on to say right here, would have been impossible for them to reach this conclusion just by studying the star with the naked eye. In fact, astronomers only discovered Sirius's small companion star a good 250 years after the telescope was invented. So they knew of something, and were told by star people about.
You know, our solar system. We're not like they think that we're just a single star system, but we're actually a binary star system.
At least.
I agree.
And we actually revolve around the Sirius star, which the Sirius star is also a binary star system, which revolves around another star in the Pleiades, is what I've heard.
Right.
So there's some importance with
Halcyon.
Sirius, because if our sun revolves around that star, I mean, there's some importance to it.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And you're talking about Alcyone, the great central sun. Why is that not considered one of our suns?
Right.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, they don't want to call us a binary or a trinary system because, hey, that would mean that there's more out there. And the earth ain't flat.
Yeah.
Well,
They
you
don't
can't
wanna-
be
Ain't
questioning.
himself either.
You can't be questioning anything like, you know, a trinary or binary or Nibiru or, you know, being seated here by various galactic star nations. Don't be questioning that.
Oh, no, you can't ask that question. Oh, man, tell me no. Watch me go find out the truth about it.
Yeah.
If you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to prove to you I can, or I'm going to find out why I can't.
Well, let me ask you this, seeing how you stated that you read the Bible and that's your text. So when it says,
That's my primary text. I've read all
Right.
the texts, though.
okay. So when it talks about Adam and Eve, you know, the story of Adam and Eve, does it make sense to you? Do you agree with that? Do you believe
Yes,
that?
but you got to look at it in the Hebrew text for it to make sense.
Okay. What's your interpretation then?
Adam, man, males were made first. There were 7 of them at least, the 7 faces of God. Okay, so 7 men were made, 7 different races we have, right? We didn't have the first day, he said, let there be light. That's the Big Bang. How long did it take for it to expand until Earth was actually formed and this system actually formed? Whatever length of time it took, God said, that's day 1. The next day, that's day 2. We're on his days. We did not have a sun, a moon, and the stars as we see them until day 4. So 24-hour days didn't even exist until the 4th day of creation. How many eons upon eons passed in that time, we don't understand, because, hey, come on, we're just now getting to the 24-hour days, but we've been taught that it was done in 24-hour days. That's not what the book says, not in Hebrew or Greek, you know, whichever language it was. It's actually ancient Arabic Hebrew, but you know, with a little bit of Egyptian thrown in here and there and stuff. But there's also, I don't know how to put it, it's not lies, hidden parables is a good way to use it, but that's not even correct either. It's out and out truth. It's just worded in such a way that as age goes, different words mean different things and we interpret them differently. Everyone wants to say that it's a circle, that God looked down and saw a circle. In Hebrew, the word that's used is for circle or sphere. If you look at a 2-dimensional, or, you know, it looks, you take a picture of the earth, it looks like a circle. It doesn't look like a sphere until you start going around it, right? The moon looks like a flat circle. But you and I know that it's not just a flat surface. So if it doesn't make rational sense, then it's not of our creator, because he's a rational creator. He had to be rational for it to all work.
Okay, so my question is, there are 4 different blood types, A, B, and O, 2 different RH values, positive and negative, and you can be any combination of any of those.
Right.
If Adam and Eve, how is it possible to get 4 different blood types and 2 different RH values from Adam and Eve? You can't do it. It's impossible.
Well, the rib, you know, your lowest rib on the male's body Did you know that that rib grows back if it's cut off or broken? They can
Does
just
it
take
change
it out.
blood? Does it change your blood or RH value?
No, the RH value is the fall. That RH in there. And we weren't supposed to have sex with them, with the animals. Okay. On the 6th day.
Wait. What if it wasn't the animals? What if the
Yes, it was.
What,
It was
what I'm just
everything
saying,
that
what
was
if,
not man was man.
what if the RH negative, which I believe they said came in approximately 12,000 years ago in the Basque region in Europe. But let's just say that came in as extraterrestrial lineage to help boost our ascension process.
Okay, let's think of a little bit further. Okay, man was created. He was put, then all the animals were presented to him, right? As a helpmeet, correct?
As a what?
Help meet, MEET, help to meet all the needs. And Adam turned every animal down and said no. And so if he created males first, the animal kingdom was created second. And we're not talking about the beasts that you eat, okay? Those are considered beasts, and animals are mostly bipedal, I would think. And because the females were presented, here's a female, he's not going to present a cow to a man and say, you want to have sex with this? He's going to present a bipedal, something equal of that a man is going to be attracted to. So it was a bipedal being that was created and presented. He said no, she was sent off into the garden. And a male was made for her, the same way females was made for men out of her. The animal species came first. The females of the animal species came first. The human species, the males came first. When Adam named all the species, Palladians, whatever they call themselves. Adam supposedly gave the Palladians that name. We're talking about a sentient being of equal intelligence of a female human or more. Okay. The serpent was a female. The serpent was a female. Death was her given mate. Those are names like destroyer. We know who the destroyer is. Lucifer, right? There's 3. There's your unholy 3, just like your Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. There's your, but the serpent is the unholy spirit, the female. She was the most beautiful animal in the garden. Where did Medusa come from? And the betrayal and all of that. Perhaps perhaps death persuaded her to do something she didn't necessarily know she shouldn't have done either. I don't know that. That's not in the stories of the Bible. It's in the Sumerian text. And I can't read that for myself yet.
Well, actually, the Sumerian texts talk about the Adama, the Adama race, which was one of the creations of the Anunnaki that finally took, and that would be the human race right now. What I'm looking at right here, this is from an article on N5D. Does RH negative blood type equal alien heritage? I'll just put up let me put up a screenshot of this real quick, because there's a question in the chat room too about RH negative. And this is the area, this is what I was talking about the RH factor, where it all of a sudden in the Basque region of Spain, and in a little in France as well, that this came in all of a sudden. And so the Basque people of Spain and France have the highest percentage of RH negative blood. About 30% are RH negative, and about 60% carry one RH negative gene. So it's a very unique blood type to have. But when it's predominantly centered in one area, to me, it sounds like there was an intervention that came in. Somebody seeded them here to help evolve humanity. That's what it sounds like to me.
It probably was. I mean, you know, but the Rh negative, you got to understand also, a woman has 2 ovaries. One ovary produces one set of genetics and the other produces another set. You have a child from the same ovary and it's going to be looking more alike than if you have a child from the right ovary and then a child from the left ovary. Okay, they're going to look far different, believe it or not. And genetically, you have a 50% chance of pulling out. Every one of us have 50% chance of pulling out an Rh negative child, simply because of the at the deluge, Noah and his sons and his wife were clean, but the wives that they chose had Rh negative in their system. Where did they land? We're not sure, but that.
Well, you gotta think that it for me, I can't believe that story of the Noah's Ark. Number one, how did they get animals that were not indigenous to their area, like polar bears, sea lions?
Well, we do believe in alien intervention, right?
Definitely.
Okay, well, that's how they would, and I don't think that they put the animals, all of the animals on the ship. I think that the animals were gathered, and from that area, there was more than one Noah. There had to be. There's been more than one ark found.
Phil, I see you shaking your head.
I do too.
Okay, so genetics, twins, identical twins. It is
that's a split of the
ovary, or the egg splits. It's got one DNA strand from the father, and it splits and forms 2 individuals. That's the way identical twins happen.
Yes.
So you can't say that what you said there was not right about the genetics. I'm sorry.
I'm not talking about twins. I wasn't talking about twins. I was talking about this pregnancy. If I know.
Well, I mean, though it's still in the genetics, you can't just have, it has to be within your line that you have in your genetics that you have an Rh negative factor. Yeah. I mean,
my
it doesn't
twin
work.
cousins are not Rh negative, but their sister, who is not, she is. They came from the same mother and father.
Well, right.
Answer
I
that.
mean, I don't know about the ovary thing. I'm not that up on the female reproductive thing. I don't know.
So what about Rh negative?
It bothers me.
What's
by the way, here's your
the
shirt.
real question.
I see that. It looks great, brother. And thank you for the super chat too. Thank you, brother.
How can my twin cousins be no Rh negative, and my cousin, their sister, who's only 3 years younger, is Rh negative? We found this out at NASA whenever we were living at NASA. We had a lot of
okay, so it's in the genetic line, so it's gonna skip. It's a recessive gene, is what I would say.
Right, and what the scientists said. Now I don't know if I believe it or not. I don't know, but what was told to us was the twins came from either the right. I'm going to use. I don't know if it's a fact, but the twins came from the right ovary, and the single child, the one 3 years later, was produced from the left ovary. And or vice versa, but that's what the genetics said. They were trying to prove, using my twin cousins, their sister and myself, as a family line. They wanted to prove the brainwave differences of twins, non-twins, and family members. My cousins shocked them because their brain waves, even at the age of 14, their brain waves were still identical. Their heartbeats were still identical. Today, they're not.
Right. So that would be, they're coming out of the one egg, and that egg is splitting into two individuals.
Right. And
That's the only reason that happens.
They thought that the twins was going to end up being Rh negative, but it ended up being their younger sister who wasn't. And me, I'm not, but we're all.
On YouTube, Agatha, excuse me, Agatha is saying that she's Rh negative and neither of her parents were Rh negative. And that's exactly what Phil was talking about. It's a recessive gene. So it came perhaps a generation or two from
probably came
lineages.
A long ways because we all have what they want to call junk genes. But
well, I have a theory on what junk genes. There is no junk in.
I don't believe junk. I don't believe in it either. I think that's we just need to learn how to activate and deactivate those genes to be able to do a lot of things that we are supposed to do. We just had, that was one of the abilities that we lost. I mean, they turned off all those genes. They look like junk to us because we don't know how to use them. You're trying to activate your genes, right, Greg?
My DNA, the RNA and DNA, yeah.
Yeah, and
he's not the only one.
Well, no, we all are, but I mean, we're just now becoming aware that we can even do that because we weren't really taught it. We're taught 2 + 2, but we're not taught how to make that 2 + 2 balance.
One of us is going to figure it out. And like I said earlier on Todd's broadcast, if I disappear, I've left the blueprint behind. You'll find it on N5D, everything I did to disappear.
Everything you did disappeared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn on all the codons of my DNA. I will disappear.
I'm scared I might meditate so deep that I accidentally disappear. What's that all about? Like, I have a feeling I could go off and not come back.
Do it.
Do it. You'll come back.
Do it and let us know what's up.
Yeah. There's like a threshold point where I get a little bit scared, and I literally haven't passed it yet.
Get past it.
That's what the Buddhas do.
You're safe. You're protected. Go past it. Go as far as you can.
Seriously.
Alina.
Like, I have a serious feeling I'm going out. Yeah.
Alina, there is nothing to fear. I mean, if you don't, you shouldn't fear death because that's just his body dying. Your spirit goes on. You know that. I'm pretty sure that's what you're going to, is that spirit.
It's what I'm thinking. I'm accidentally gonna go off this plane, and I'm like, I get this feeling that I'm gonna leave. And I'm like, no, I can't leave yet. I got stuff I gotta do. I got
honestly, if you left, you wouldn't want to come back. But you're not leaving. You're not going anywhere. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, I get that though. I'm like, I have to stay 9 more years until this kid's 18, and then I'm out. But I might see, because it is kind of scary and I'm trying to get over it, but I might do that and go deeper, because I know I can just let myself go off the deep end, but I'm always stop meditating because I'm like scared of that. And I would go for an hour or 2 or more hours, but I'm always like, oh no, I can't leave yet. And then I stop. How do I stop being scared that I might not be able to get back?
I totally get what you're saying. I had a dream one time where I saw this rotating sacred geometry flying through the air, and it landed in the sand. But there was a portal that I had to cross to go check it out. And I knew that sacred geometry contained all the knowledge ever, period. And if I wanted to check it out, I had to go through that portal. But I didn't go because I was afraid that I can't leave my daughter behind. And I didn't do it. But had I realized that it was just a dream or just meditation, you can do it. You will come back. You'll be safe. And if I could lucid dream, oh hell, I'd revisit that and I'd dive through that portal.
Yeah, I've had a dream like that before too. I was watching these circles, and there was a gold circle in the middle with like writing in it, spinning, and then outside of it there were these colors spinning the opposite way, counterclockwise. And then there was like an old metal that was not gold, not bronze, but like in the middle, like dark gold, with more writing on it that I don't know what it said, and it was going clockwise again. And then all the air in between me and it was shapes, colors, geometry. And I was like a student. Like I knew that I was a student, and I was watching this, and I was staring at it as it spun. And I was like, all the geometries were around me, all the air was made of shapes and colors. And then my cousin called me and woke me up at exactly 10 a.m., 1000 o'clock, as I'm looking at circles, which are 10, 10, and all the zeros. And I wish I could have that dream again too. I would go in there.
And
more.
everything on top of that is all ones and zeros, just binary code. You know what you're looking at.
It actually, it is. And I was having a dream. I was studying it, and I was sitting there listening, understanding. And that's when I was first learning about Reiki, and I found out there's unlimited bubbles between us and everybody else. So we can always send energy to anybody, no matter how far they are away. And that's when I learned about distance healing, that no amount of miles makes a difference, is as if you're in front of each other touching hands, if you're aware of that.
Yes, indeed. That is what it's all about. Oops.
Yeah.
Similar to the hokey pokey. That's what it's all about.
Let's go do the hokey pokey.
According to Doug Adams, the answer is 42. That's what the universe is all about. The secret to life in the universe. If anybody ever read that, remember that? The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I love that book. It was
That
great.
works out to a Tesla number, 42.
Y'all should read that book. It's really cool.
Yeah, it works out to 6. And that is one of Tesla's numbers, yes.
I have to go to the bathroom. I've drank a lot of water. So you guys.
I wasn't saying 42 was the answer. I'm just saying I thought it was funny that he said that. I'm sorry. I'll shut up now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 6 is a sacred number. It's a number of Earth. Well, at least in my cosmology anyway, because of the fact that I associate the cube with Earth, and that's a 6-sided solid. And it's so it's squaring or encircling the square or a sphere, spherically, if we're talking about a cube.
Well, remember too, Nikola Tesla, if you knew the significance of 3, 6, and 9, well, what did he say? If you knew the significance of 3, 6, and 9, you would know the secret of the universe, right? It must be a powerful number, I think. Then again,
oh, it is. It is. But I mean, and this is the same thing. We have to remember about the Bible that we have. It's been perverted by the Babylonians, the Pharisees, the Catholics or the Romans, the King James Version. Unfortunately, and then again, it was talking in parables and metaphors. So we can't take this stuff too literally, is what I'm going to have to say. You can't.
I totally agree. I mean, basically, the Christian Bible is nothing but metaphor, basically. I mean, I agree with you, Phil. I was just agreeing. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, brother.
No, that's
I tend to do that, man. I can't help it. I get excited and I blurt out.
So do I. But I do try to control it. Well, I guess. I mean, gee whiz, folks. You can't be having dead silence here. People won't appreciate that. So I'm going to make some noise.
Where's Alina? Lena, are you here still? No? Oh, she left.
She's here, but yeah. But she's not.
She's here, but yeah.
Yeah. I'll give the Bill with his bowls.
I pulled the card for her. I know she's a little worried and everything about her current state of meditation and everything, picking up on new energies. I pulled the Fool. We all know that the Fool is a card where you're walking into the unknown and you need to let go and to surrender and trust. That's it. We've all had this card. We've all gone through this. So that's what I got for Alina. So just like she's done it on this earth, she can do it in other dimensions and other things that she's tapping into. So fear no, fear none.
I love that card.
I do too. It's my favorite. I mean, that's where it starts. It starts with the Fool. When you go on your journey in the minor arcana or the major arcana, it starts with the Fool. So that's
a man and his dog.
She's on a completion, and now she's, hey, Alina, you got the Fool. I pulled a card for you. So you're on a new journey. You completed some cycle, and now you're on a new one. So whatever you're tapping into, just let go of fear and surrender, okay? The Fool is like one of the best cards. I love the Fool.
Thank you.
Yep.
Did you know I'm the sacred Fool? I have crazy wisdom. That's me. I'm opposite and backwards. And I'm the unlucky days and the missing days. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And I just got this candle called New Beginnings. It has amethyst and moonstone in it. It's called New Beginnings. Thank you for pulling that card. Thank you.
It's called Newport Beginnings or New Beginnings.
It's called New Beginnings.
I'm just kidding. I saw the Newports there.
Oh, you saw the Newport pack?
Yep.
That's my fiance's cigarettes. I don't smoke Newports. I like American spirits.
All good. I'm not judging.
Thank you. Thank you for pulling that for me.
Yeah, of course.
It sounds really right.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds right for right now. And also, like, I literally am the clown. I can't help it. I don't even always want to be, but when stuff is sad, I make bad jokes. And that's all I know how to do.
Hey, sometimes you got to laugh through it. I mean,
yeah.
Really, yeah.
Laughter
I
is
really
the best
just
medicine.
make it worse so that everybody else makes it better.
Yeah.
Noel, Dawn Noel, what are you doing? Hi.
Hey.
I saw your hands up like this. What you doing?
I was just sending like love energy out.
Yeah, we're feeling it.
Thank you.
Because I'm really inspired by what Desiree's doing. So I figured I could help. A little co-creation.
She started out with this little corner of her table. Before we got on, she showed us this tiny little corner that she was working with. Now it's the whole table.
Yeah,
Pretty
this
soon
is
it'll be her whole house.
Yeah, this is. I wouldn't doubt that. My house is Assyrian, energy. But this is the Syrian grid. I don't know why, like all of a sudden it told me to do the whole table. That way it was even. But the Syrian grid the Syrian star has 8 points to it. And I've incorporated my organ with the hearts, which means love. And this is the key. It's activated. It's open. I selenite wand it, I opened it and I used the pendulum and everything. And the grid is open. I put a brass pyramid on the bottom, and then I put the copper on top so that the energy is pointing directly out. But this is a key open grid. It's a multi-dimensional grid that's open for a being to come through. So, and it's protected. So whoever's going to come through is definitely, a star being. So lots of love sent out.
That's awesome. Thank you.
I love it. I've had dreams with that sort of pattern, like I think very similar, but I had it on a bedspread, and I was, but my crystals were cookies. So I think I like cookies. That's what that was saying, but I'm really inspired by what you're doing there. It's beautiful.
Happy quantum leap year.
Yay.
Do you have an empty chair available for your star being to come through and have a seat in?
Yeah, I have 4 extras open.
Pardon?
I have 4 extra chairs open. I just
Good,
gotta
good,
clear 'em off.
good. They always need someplace to sit. I have an empty chair in my room all the time. It's an open invitation.
Like I'm getting hot right now because the energy is coming through so fast.
Yes, it is.
So whoever's on this line right now is feeling the energy. And if you close your eyes, put your hands out in front of you and open, accept the energy, just breathe 3 times because the energy is coming in 3s right now. Even though it's a number 8 pattern, it seems like it's 3s coming out with the pyramids.
8 and 3 is 11.
Energy, yeah, it's just coming out big. So if you just put your hand out, both of your hands, you just breathe in the energy 3 times and see she's doing it. Breathe in and exhale it. Breathe in again. And then breathe in again. And then you just let it all out. And this is a grounding energy. This is a grounding energy. And it's going to bring in more energy through your up through your spine. And it's going to go straight through. Just imagine a white beam going straight through your solar or your, I can't even think because it's so much energy.
Root
Going
chakra.
through your crown.
Oh, okay.
Straight through your root. Just imagine a bright white tingling light going like kundalini energy just beaming right through. And this is why they wanted me to activate it, is because they want every single person to get activated to this energy. And it's a big solar energy. I feel like there's something going to happen to the sun or to the energy. So right from your crown to your root, just imagine a great white being energy, like a white being. Let's say like your light beams are being activated at this time because of this grid, and it's connecting to the pyramids of Giza too, because these are all the same exact measurements of Giza, and there's something to do, like I said earlier, with Sirian, like you were talking about, Greg, like everything's connected with the Sirian, the water energy. We're also in Pisces until March 10th, and then this is Aquarius energy too, because we're in age of Aquarius, like Gary said. So just imagine that energy rooting, and there will be somebody at every single person's dream tonight or through this whole week, because this grid can be activated through this whole 6-month period.
Is Sirius A near the center of the universe, or is it, what is the name of the center of the universe? And
Sagittarius
Sirius
A.
near that?
Sagittarius A. So it's in the constellation of Sagittarius. I'm not sure what the star, but that's pointing towards the galactic center.
Yeah, so the
And our
galactic center is
so.
Sagittarius A. I thought it was Sirius A for a while, and then I found out Sirius, is it close to it?
Yeah, I'm not
Is
sure.
Sirius close to Sagittarius? So the galactic center is in
Sirius is close
Sagittarius
to
A.
the Orion.
Cancer. Is it Cancer, Phil?
constellation. Pardon?
Cancer? Is it Cancer where it's close to?
Well, I'm not sure. I know it is tied to Orion, and it's so Sirius is like the dog star, I believe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was wondering what Sirius has to do with the galactic center, because I know the very center of the universe and the galactic center, it has a connection with Sirius, and that's not from anything I know. I feel like it, and I thought maybe they were the same thing. But if Sagittarius A is the center, then I'm wondering what Sirius has to do with the center, or how close it is, or if they're friends or what.
Well, people are researching that. I just want to show this real quick. I showed it earlier today. This is what happened on the Schumann today and currently ongoing right now. So this is an unusual anomaly that that's going on. Something happened around 2 o'clock Eastern time about 8 hours ago, 9 hours ago or so. Something happened about 9 hours ago that caused this on the Schumann. So go ahead, Phil.
Okay, so you got a different chart than I did, because I only got up to about 5 o'clock when I did my energy report today. And they actually, the Russian site only went to 5 a.m. and then I found another one that went to 5 p.m. So I didn't get the whole screen like you were showing that. But anyway, yeah, they were saying the resonance was at a frequency of 23 hertz. So that's about 3 times above 7.83. And yeah. So the cards that I pulled for my report was the 8 of Wands, which in the Crowley deck is called Swiftness. And I pulled for the animal was the butterfly. So transformation. A swift transformation, I would say, with the 2 cards together.
Love it.
Yeah. Things are happening faster. I actually want to mention, I was doing some checking again because something that came up regarding the event, and checked with my pendulum again. And this time it's showing up it's going to be happening in the later half of this year. So I didn't try to nail it down, but yeah, I'm just saying things are moving faster than even I thought before.
I'm ready right now.
Well, you're going to have to wait
now
until after June, according to my
Volunteer.
latest.
I'll be first if anybody will. I mean, come on, let's go. Somebody be first. You know?
I've always said I want to be first so I can be the Walmart greeter and just give everyone a big hug. Hey, you made it.
Well, Craig, I hate to say it, but I think some people have already made it there.
I know. I'll probably end up being last, just to make sure everyone that could go did go.
Well, neither of us are old enough to be the last, I don't think.
I don't know.
I mean, I think we're too old, is what I'm saying, to be the last. We either go with the planet or we might not go, is what I'm saying.
Oh, we're going. Everyone that's watching this is going, I think.
I think so too. Yeah. I mean, basically, back in 2012, I remember viewing a video, and they kind of put it out to the light tribe at that time that, you know, we could go then, or we could hold back to try to bring everybody with us. So we all kind of decided we would hang back and see if we can't pull in at least more of you with us. But I'm not going to pass up another one. Nope. Sorry.
Me either. I've passed a couple of times.
Yeah. No more passing for me. I wouldn't recommend it. If the spirits come to you and say it's time to go, go with them. Trust it. And I mean, with the butterfly, we are in that transformational state. We should, you know, I know it's easy to be in that chrysalis stage and just think, oh, I'm safe in here. I'm all covered up in my shell here, and I don't want to go out into the big dark world. Well, now is the time, I'm going to say. You got to come out, flex your butterfly wings, and fly free, folks. So, Lena, go for it.
It's a beautiful
like
metaphor, too. Go ahead.
I feel like the mission of the bodhisattvas and the bodhisattas is coming to an end, because delaying your own peace and ascension is over now that it's available to everyone, and we can share the codes without speaking, without moving, without even opening our eyes. we can share the codes just walking around. It's available to everybody. I feel like our mission is over now and we can kind of relax a little bit. I mean, dealing with all the turmoil is work in itself and like neutralizing that, but I feel like a lot of the hardest part of this mission is over, and we can go whenever that event happens. The Bodhisattva vows of waiting to liberate everyone before you go. We've done that. Everyone is at the level that they have the choice now. They are liberated, and the love is everywhere. All they got to do is pick it up. Pick it up.
I think that's why we've been getting so many messages that it's time to play now, because everybody has been working so hard. And you know what? It might be a last hurrah for this 3D existence. You know, the things that you've always wanted to do on your bucket list, go do them now, because you won't be 3D. I mean, when we go to 5D, to me, I can't imagine it, because I still have the old man's 3D brain, you know? But when we get there, wow, it's just going to be a phenomenal thing. And, you know, your energy, Eileen, wow. I mean, I can, you're glowing like a sun. So.
Do you want some?
Yeah.
Hey, guess what, everybody? I'm going to fucking share some of it, because that's one of my gifts. I've been trying to master just sharing it by being here, so I don't want to have to do these motions, and I give kisses, I blow them to make sure, but here it is. Boom. We're relaxing now. We're fucking chilling. Yeah. Anybody that's near anybody is gonna be within 5 feet of some other one people that is feeling love by the time we're ready, and we're all going.
Remember,
yeah,
your aura field can go up to 26 to 36 feet wide. So
oh, I think mine might go
you're
farther than that. I've heard from some people that it goes farther. Yeah, I'm working on being able to share it, but there it is. I give you one, I'll give you one more womb.
Right. Well, as far as your field, yeah, that's unlimited. I mean,
I think so.
Yeah, if you can send energy across the world, your energy field is unlimited.
Yeah, I've been told
okay, well, I can
multiple
do
times
that.
years ago. I didn't know what it meant, but
So I really
know.
dig that butterfly. It made me think about what we were talking about last week, how some people perhaps have not broken out of their spiritual cocoon, are not standing in their spiritual truth. It's time to spread your wings. It's time to fly. It's time to stand in that spiritual truth. Own it. Be proud of it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, put it out there. Let people know this is me. There's nothing to be afraid of. Look at the majority of us standing in our truth. I want you to go out today, post this video on your Facebook page. See what people say. You might be surprised. Do it.
Yeah, I've been sharing a lot more things that my family would be scared of, because more than half of them are just traditional Christian and then traditional Catholic. And I've been sharing a lot more stuff, and one of my grandfather actually said, I love this. This is truth, and put hearts on it. And it was something, you know, controversial. Like I do these things, and to some people they're controversial because they don't believe in whatever they haven't been told about yet. But some of my family, I'm scared that they're going to judge me, and I've been posting this stuff anyway, and it actually is being accepted more than I thought.
I think a lot of people are going to find that you're going to find you have friends that are actually into the same things that you're into, that you were afraid to talk about. It's going to create an awakening, and it's also might purge some people too, but you're going to end up in the end, you're going to end up with a lot more friends.
I mean, I have to talk about this, the judgment. Don't worry. I mean, judgment, that's on them. You know that your heart is good, and it is. I mean, I can read it like it's it's coming out. It's a good heart, and that's all you need to worry about. What other people think of you, nah.
Doesn't matter.
That's their projections. That's their
Okay.
demons or whatever that's coming out. So
Thank you, Phil.
yeah, don't you are golden.
I honor your opinion because I know you're a wizard.
Can I break in just for
I
a moment?
respect you and your energy too. It's beautiful.
Again, I want to break in just for a moment. And only because I've only got about 5 minutes to do this before I have to be quiet here in my apartment. It's the quiet hours about to kick in. But I haven't shared with you guys what I think is my biggest gift that I ever got from Source and from God. And that's, I like to sing. Would you mind if I sing a quick song for you?
Go for it.
Okay. I'm nervous as hell because I haven't sung in front of people in a long time, so excuse me if I close my eyes, okay? This is one of my favorite songs, Robbie Williams' Angels. I sit and wait. Does an angel contemplate my fate? And do they know the places where we go when we're gray and old? 'Cause I've been taught that salvation helps their wings unfold. So when I'm lying in my bed, thoughts running through my head, when I feel that love is dead, I'm loving angels instead. And through it all, she offers me protection, a lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong. And down the waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know that life won't break me when I come to call. She won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead. When I'm feeling cold and my pain walks down a one-way street, I look above and I know that I'll always be blessed with love. And as the feeling grows, she breathes flesh to my bones. And when love is dead, I'm loving angels instead. And through it all, she offers me protection, a lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong. And down the waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know that life won't break me when I come to call. She won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I just needed to sing that. I love to sing. I think I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. That was good.
Be sure to check out all the comments in the YouTube as well. They dug it.
Gary, when you were singing,
I forgot about that.
Gary, when you were singing, I saw 3 angels surrounding you. There's 3 guides at least I saw. And 'cause when
I
closed my eyes-
finally met one of my angels last night. It's actually a family member. One of my guardian angels is my uncle Jerry, who I never met. When my dad was 5, he died of I think measles or mumps or something. It was back in the day, but you know, I met him. He's been with me forever. I just didn't know it.
Well, you got a pack on your shoulders, and you really activated a lot of energy right there. That was from your heart space, and I felt it.
That's
All right, hang on, Des. Let me spotlight you here. There you go. Say something.
Me?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. No, wait. It was Diana. Wait. Diana, say something.
Hey, how you
Okay.
doing? I want you all to see this. This is the energy flow that I see coming from Desiree's table. And it is the 369. The triangle is the heartbeat. The 3, which covers the 369 heartbeat, and then the rest of it is flowing in the infinity sign. That is an awesome grid you set up. It's beautiful. It's got a lot of wonderful energy coming off of it.
Thank you. I'm just guided by whoever tells me what to do. And I feel like,
Oh man.
no, it's off and I can't even.
Yeah, you muted
I feel
yourself.
like the grid has really opened up Gary's heart, or like a lot of people's heart, and that's where I'm trying to get it. Who, you know, they say there's a light being coming through. I think it's a light being coming through every single person, activating everybody's heartbeat, or at least their heart chakras, and it's really grounding you and taking you to a whole, it's helping you uplift into your normal being, or like your new physical being. But Gary, I felt that from your heart space. I felt your heart. So, and I saw, I don't know if it's 3 men, but there was 1 female angel or guide and 2 males. But I saw like 1 and then 2 and then a 3rd one. So I saw them like hovering kind of like over one another with their wings. So, but it was like the color of my sweater.
Whoa.
It was that color.
My heart is about to pound through my chest right now. This is like, wow. This is woohoo.
So that night when you pull the amethyst card, and your amethyst, that's the color I get with you. And I also get like a really bright white color too. So you have a lot of angels around you, just so you know.
I'm blessed. I really am.
Yeah, that even says so. That looks like an angel if you hold it like that. Look at that.
Somebody was saying that on YouTube that it looks like angel wings. Angel wings on that drawing. B was saying that on YouTube.
It does, and that's what I see when I look at it. It's absolute, and it's got the colors she was saying, and it, you know, it's just absolutely beautiful. I can see it on the picture. Oh, that's nice.
Well, like I said in the chat room, that my number's right in there for anybody who's on this chat. If you need that picture of the grid so that you can activate yourself throughout certain times when you need that heart space and that energy, just message me or text me, and I will send that energy, or I'll send that grid picture to you, because I took a picture of it. I'll send it to you, and the grid is open for 6 months.
Well, go ahead and send it to my Facebook chat.
I will do.
Thank you.
I have to ask, Desiree, what is your generator stone there in the center?
It is smoky quartz.
It's a quartz?
Smoky quartz,
Because they look kind of green. Maybe it's just, it could be my eyes. My eyes are messed up, man. I don't know.
A dolphin. Yeah. What's the chances of you making a dolphin? And this is Sirian energy. Okay. Yeah, this is smoky.
Oh, smoky quartz? Yeah,
yep.
Okay. All
And
right.
then
Well, that's
someone-
good energy.
Yeah, these are all orgone. But there's 2 Lemurian quartz in here, and then 2 Tibetan quartz, and then the rest is smoky, or the rest is quartz. Even the little ones are quartz. So
How'd you make the hearts? And what are they made of?
these are the orgone products that I made. The little orgone, and I got them with Valentine's Day kind of thing. You know those little baking kits that they you go to Walmart and you're like, oh, this would be a good idea, and then all of a sudden they told me, oh, use this for orgone. So yeah, I've been using them for the grid, so which is cool. So I don't know.
So I have
I've
to
just been
ask,
giving them away.
Desiree, I have to ask, when you're doing your orgonite, that orgonite term we can't use anymore because it's
Almost
patent.
orgasmic, huh?
Yeah, but I wanted to make sure you're layering metal and a metallic with a organic, right? Are you doing it that way?
It's It's from a friend who does. Hold on, baby. He makes the pyramids. The pyramids that you see that was over the grid. He makes a copper pyramids here, and this is brass. This one's brass from organic brass that he gets, and then organic copper that he got, and then he gave me a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, he gave me the copper. So these are the copper, and then I got the brass, and then I have aluminum that I do with it. So,
Okay.
So what are
you using herbals, or what are you using for your organic material?
It's are you talking about for the resin?
For the
It's just
orgone.
regular resin. Yeah.
For the orgone.
Yeah, it's resin. So
you don't have any herbs or anything like that in them, or?
no.
Oh, okay.
I use the clear crystal quartz or certain whatever I'm guided to at that point to put in with the crystals. Sometimes it'll be different types of crystals during that moment, and it just depends on what they are guiding me to do with the crystals. So I don't know. Every crystal or every pyramid I make is different. So, or every orgone piece I create is different.
I never heard of herbs in orgone. I think that's what a great idea though that would be. I never thought of that.
Yeah, no, that's what I do on mine. I layer it because that's, if you research William Reich, who came up with that term.
Yes,
that's what he did. He layered an organic between a metal. Organic metal, organic metal, organic metal, up to 7 levels. So and that might improve the effectiveness of your orgone. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been layering them instead. My light is flickering, but yeah, I've been layering them instead because if you mix them, it seems like it doesn't have that effect like William Reich did. But I also include Tesla in with the same effect. I do the coils. I make coils and I also put them in there with it. So it just depends on what I'm guided to at that moment.
No wonder I was seeing the 369.
Yeah.
Tesla energies, and that's why I was seeing that. Excuse me.
I was using a candle with amethyst and moonstone and sage and lavender flowers inside it to help with pain, and burning the candle and layering the herbs and the earth materials and the crystals. I didn't know that before, but I've been experimenting with it, and it really does it puts it all into the air in a unique concoction. I don't know if it damages. I don't think it damages the crystals to put them in candle wax and have a candle burning with around them. But I know not all crystals can withstand that. Like amethyst and moonstone are both hard, and black obsidian is hard, and smoky quartz, and some are hard enough to do that. But I was layering that, and it actually worked, and it helped. And for physical pain, no medicine, nothing. We don't
Right.
do that here.
Well, that would be
Supporting
an
the physical
effect with
vessel with
the
that.
with what William Reich was talking about as orgone, is that it sets up a positive orgone energy as opposed to a negative orgone energy. So I think the layering is really key to get that effect.
Yeah, that's what I
Speaking
did
more
with this
about the
chemtrail
herbs,
buster.
Oh
So-
yeah, that's a nice one.
So I still have to put more orgone on, or more stuff onto it, because it needs to be a little bit deeper. But you know, you have the wood as the basically the, you know, the soft energy that's coming in, so the energy isn't so harsh coming out at the same time. Then there's a mirror on top of the wood, and then there's the layering of those different products that's in there. And then I put, so inside of these is a coil that, you know, because like I said, I'm trying to do Tesla, you know, energy in with
Right.
it too, so that when the energy hits it, it's not so harsh, but then it's also, you know, a little bit more positive on that side too. So there's 3 different, I don't know, there's a weird reason why I'm doing 3s lately, but 3 different coils in here, and it's touching the orgone energy with the copper, in the copper towers here. And I have 4 towers that's here that's correlating with the sun's energy. So I put it inside the my window, and wherever the sun's pointing, I point the, you know, these to where it's going everywhere. But I also have a cathedral clear quartz in the center to help manifest that energy and target it to the point even more, and then amethyst at the top points. So when you're talking about layering, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, and the mirror, because that's a silver, I think, backing to create a mirror. So you got wood, silver, metal, and then your glass and your orgone, and then with the metal in it. Yeah, no, you got the effects of an orgone generator right there.
Yeah, I've been
Sure.
doing a lot of research and trying to combine a lot of energy together to make it a little bit stronger. But it's kind of hard at the same time, because it's a lot of, you know, researching for the fact to make it correct, and second to make the product actually work. So a lot of people just add metal to, you know, resin, and like, oh, it's an orgone piece, oh, here's crystals. No, you know, there's certain steps, it seems like, because like you're talking about the negative and the positives, it has to flow right. Like, it just, there's something in with it. Like when you're talking about William Wright, like with his box, he had to have it like a certain, you know, dimension, and, you know, certain flowage in order for it to work. Because you just put in a wooden box, I mean, that's not going to work. You have to, yeah.
Right, yeah, he layered like felt and aluminum foil, and yeah, it was a layering effect is what creates the
Exactly.
positive orgone energy. At least
I'm on the
according
same
to my
wavelength.
research.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Okay.
You're muted, Gabby Rose. Unmute.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm new to this. I was trying to talk, but
Welcome
hello.
aboard.
I'm really happy to be on here. Nice to meet you, Greg Prescott. That you're really awesome. I love watching you. I just, you know, I came on here because I think her name was Alina. I really resonated with her when she was talking about meditating and maybe drifting off. I kind of feel like that happened to me or something, to where I meditated, you know, I got so into the spiritual realm to the point where it feels like I'm now like kind of in between realms. It's like I'm too far from the fleshful aspect, like, you know, the flesh aspect, and but it's like I'm stuck in like, I don't know. Have you guys ever had anything like this happen? It feels like I'm in between. I'm like stuck between or something. I'm
You
not.
haven't chanted over and over again, have you? Have you said
No.
Don't, yeah. Nobody's ready for on Earth, really. Will disconnect you from reality.
I
am ready.
You can
I
do
use
it, Phil. You're a wizard. Phil can do it. But I've heard from a lot of people, not me, but I've heard of a lot of people disconnecting from wanting to work and stuff from chanting So don't chant but too much. Because it'll make you too peaceful, so peaceful that you'll be enlightened, but the desire to do 3D will go away.
No, if I'm explaining it right, I'm a very spiritual person, but it just feels like maybe it's like I've maybe lost a little bit of my, I can't really explain it. It's like I've lost a little bit of my spirituality. As far as connecting, it's like it's some kind of like discord there.
First thing that comes to mind, Gabby, that's coming to my mind at least. Well, first of all, thank you for having the courage to come on here and talk with us. You know, it's not easy for people to just do this. And you're showing that, yeah, it can be easy. It's not that bad. But the first thing that comes to my mind, when was the last time you talked to your guardian angels, spirit guides, and said, hey, I need some help? Because one of the cards I drew yesterday was called Just Ask. And there's so many times that our guides and angels are just sitting around tapping their toes, waiting for us to ask.
We're going like
Because
this.
of the law of interference, they can't just jump right in. So if you need help, try asking them for help through this, whatever this bump is that you're experiencing.
Yeah, I do. I do all. It doesn't feel the same for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know. Like it just doesn't feel the same. Like it just feels like I got too far off or something. I can't really explain it.
How long ago did this initially occur that you noticed this?
Maybe like 6 to 8 months ago. I did have a death in the family around that time, and I lost like the amp to like be spiritual. I don't know. Like I don't really understand what happened, because it's like when I first started my spiritual awakening, I went up. Maybe I was moving too fast or something like that. I just shot up, and
I think what we need to do right now is we all need to send you a lot, unlimited love right now. Everybody send Gabby love.
Thank you.
Gabby.
I need that. I need some kind of healing.
Is maybe she's just, maybe you're going through what's called the dark night of the soul. Believe me, it sucks when you get there. It's like when you first become awakened, you go by leaps and bounds, and then all of a sudden the dark night of the soul hits, and it's something that's a process. And believe me, you can work through it. Just, you got to keep believing, because really what you believe is true is going to eventually be true for you, and it's going to manifest in your life. It really will. It's just got to believe. You got to keep believing, keep hoping, and ask for help. Like Greg says, I found out tonight, I got a posse behind me all the time, pretty much. I thought they were there. Now I know, Yeah. Don't give up. Keep going. Okay. Just keep doing what you got to do, because it will pass. It will pass. And before you know it, you'll be smiling again. You will. It will.
Did something scare you?
Excuse me?
Did something scare you?
No, nothing scared me. It's like the things that I eventually began to, like, my spiritual journey is just like I feel kind of disconnected from that journey, that spiritual journey that I'm on. It doesn't feel as aligned as I
Like
as
you
I
were standing up right on the tightrope and now you're kind of off of it.
yeah.
And that's you did, yeah. I experienced that quite vividly in 2010.
With death comes knowledge of all life.
Yes.
If you guys want to know the sounds of your chakras, I can give you the lowdown if you have a pencil and paper and you can write it down. So when you're okay, go ahead and get everything ready so you guys can write things down then. Because I have a whole notebook of spiritual stuff, classes that I do. So I was looking through this.
I agree with the dark night of the soul. That sounds really relating some in that area.
And it would correspond to the fact that you had a death in the family. I mean, anything like that can trigger that dark night of the soul.
Yeah,
Things
that's
like
what
that.
triggered mine.
Okay, the first one is your root chakra, and it's LAM, and the sound is lum. LUM is how it sounds, lum, and that's with your root, the red energy. The second sound is your sacral, that's your orange energy. It's VAM, but it sounds like bum, bum. Third chakra is your solar plexus, and it's yellow. It's where your solar energy is. It's RAM, RAM, and you sound it like rum, but you're supposed to roll your tongue. I can't roll my tongue, so.
Rum, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the more you practice it, it'll help you a little bit. So those are the three lower ones.
What was 3 was called what?
RAM.
Yeah, but
and
the
it
name
sounds
of
like rum. RUM.
This is the vowel sounds that you're talking about. Well,
Yeah, it's not pronounced A as in ah. No, bat is pronounced ah, as in You can feel it vibrate. I mean, I love this because those vibrate all through your body every time you make one. I never knew that.
I just wanted to get it straight for everybody. So.
How powerful that can be. Wow. Thank you.
Heart chakra.
And then the heart chakra, the fourth chakra is green. And that's YAM. And it sounds like yum.
This is the sound of it right here.
Is everybody ready for the fifth one?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, fifth chakra is your throat. It's blue. And it's HAM, HAM. And the sound sounds like hum, or like a hum, you know, like a higher pitch too. HUM is how it is supposed to sound like. Hum.
Okay.
Kind of like a flute sound. The sixth chakra is your third eye. And this is the indigo color. So this is where you're having issues at. So it seems like you're kind of like having an awakening, like a struck, like whoa, like being hit really fast. And this is the Om. Om. So when you keep saying Om, you're opening your third eye. Yeah, you need to ground first.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I think.
so and it's OM is what it is, but the sound is OHM. Om.
Hello.
And then your seventh chakra, your crown, is silent. There's no sound with that. Go figure.
Can anybody hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm just wondering.
I think it's pretty awesome that you were talking about the color that the sweater that you're wearing. I didn't get your name.
Des. I'm Desiree.
Desiree. It's neat because I went and bought this not even like 2 hours ago. It's the same color that you were talking about. It's an amethyst.
Amethyst cluster you have there.
It's really neat. And I think it's some kind of synchronicity there. Then you give me these vibrations that I could use a part of my meditation. So that it's just awesome.
Well, if you didn't write down a seventh chakra's purple or it's violet, so that's probably what you need to work on too. You just need to work on it all, but I would really start grounding first. A lot of people say to go ahead, go for your crown first, but for me, personally, I'm very sensitive, so I have to ground first before I get messages. So I think the reason why I did my grid tonight was because I had purple on. So whatever color you're wearing at that moment too can correlate with whatever chakra is needing to be balanced that day too. So
Okay.
which is really funny. So if you are having a hard time with saying your sacral chakra, your sexual organ, where your female production is,
Right.
wear orange, and that'll help brighten that energy up. I've noticed that too. So just got a lot of grounding things to do and to find out for yourself. And I think you've just awoken too fast, which I did, and it all comes really, really fast. And a lot of people say there's no such thing, but well, for a lot of us, I mean, we were born early, and there's just so much crap going on. But start as slow as you can at first, and then work your way up, because it's just going to be too much, and it's going to hit you all at the same time when you start cleansing yourself out. Like if you go fruitarian, or you're trying to cleanse out your body, try to cleanse yourself out slowly, or just work on one thing at a time. That's my
But a couple spiritual counselors were telling me, like, you're moving too fast, like slow down, trying to move too fast. I don't know if I was grounded, or maybe I wasn't ready completely what I mentally thought I was.
That's a huge message for all of us. We keep getting the same thing. Slow down.
Slow down.
Yep.
Also,
Okay.
one thing too. I'm sorry. Again, I interrupt, but what I would suggest is also, Gabby. I mean, the things that are upsetting to you, like if the television news upsets you, turn off the TV. If the noise and the pollution or whatever upsets you, get outside into nature and get away from it. I mean, really, it will help raise your spirits and raise your vibration if you just try to be selective on what you let penetrate to you, okay? Because there's just so much noise and chaos and divisiveness out there. Just stay away from all that. I mean, I used to be a real big political guy, but I don't even think I'm going to vote because I don't really think it matters anymore. So I'm just staying away from all of that, and follow your bliss. The things that make you happy to do them, because that raises your vibration. Just doing something you love makes you happy, and happiness, man. And
another thing to consider is that spirituality, like even Jesus slept at night. He wasn't just wandering around performing miracles 24 hours a day. And I'm not as cool as Jesus. And so like I can be really turned on and spiritual, and I can maintain that for periods of time. But a great part of the spiritual process comes down to chop wood and carry water. I have to do the dishes. I have to sweep the dust off the floor. Sometimes living a spiritual life does not mean being really freaking cool. It means being really basic. It means being really human. It means taking a poop every day. Hey, y'all took a poop today. You're not super, like, yeah, we're all angelic and holy, but also we all took a poop today. And
I hope so.
Okay, so there's a song before, like, yeah, I mute myself for a while. I want everybody to look up this song because this is what helped me transcend into a better person lately. His name is Trevor Hall, and his song is You Cannot Rush Your Healing. You Can't Rush Your Healing. And this song has really helped me. It helped me with my heartstring. It helped me really heal myself and take a big step back. Trevor Hall, You Can't Rush Your Healing. And I swear you'll love it.
Yeah.
I have a question for the girl with the amethyst rock. I just want to know, like, what is your experience like with the rock?
What is my experience? Right now it's giving me like a healing effect. It's really calming. The moment I bought it, I literally felt like this calming sensation. It seemed like it pulled my energy somehow. Like I could feel my energy like balancing, and yeah, it just seems like it gave me a balancing effect.
Yeah, that's the attributes of amethyst. Yes.
Right.
I'll tell you one thing. The fact that you've stepped away from spirituality and practices is because we're moving to a place where it's natural. Just holding your amethyst in your house anywhere is already having an effect on you. Just looking out your window, even at the trees outside or stepping on the grass, is having the grounding effect that you need. And looking at an animal or a piece of nature is having that. And the thing that our heart is doing is purifying everything from up and down, starting in the middle. And our hearts are all moving to a place where what we all want is love for each other. And our hearts are already at the place that the spiritual practices are falling away. We don't have to work so hard to be there. And you might have awakened and very fast, and there's a lot of things, but they are not even hardly as necessary anymore because they're already innate to us. And the realization that it's innate when you sit still and be in that 0 point, you don't need any action.
I hear that too. When I meditate, I hear that as well. Like what you're saying, it's like it's all natural now. So hard. Stop, like, I have to do the same thing I used to do because it's like it's some part of me now. And
yeah, that's why we can have balance and moderation, and we can have everything. Literally, we can enjoy whatever there is that we possibly can. But we are at the place where we naturally are. We're connecting to everything in every moment that we're being and taking a breath. And if you're aware of it and willing to accept it and just be in love with existence and the ecstasy of existence, you don't have to do so many hard practices or anything. You're just in it. Yeah.
Right.
You guys look really excited over there. Hi.
Hi.
So you're talking about like the subconscious realm.
I have a question for Greg.
he jumped in on the conversation when you guys were talking about music, and he's a musician, and he had a question about.
I have a question about the 7 chakras, and it's for Greg. I want to know how it relates to the modal structure of scales. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the modes, but each mode delivers a different type of emotion. And I heard Desiree talking about a song, and I believe that song is in the key of C major. So it's like, it's more of an uplifting, more of a, how can I give an example? Most Christmas songs are played on the white keys of a keyboard, not too many flats and sharps in the songs.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives more of a happier presence, more uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know there's 7 chakras and there's 7 modes to the scale. And I don't know, the question I have is how they relate, because I know they do.
Okay. Well, you know, you have a Van Halen shirt on right now. Eddie Van Halen uses a lot of like Mixolydian, Aeolian, you know, dissonant scales. Those dissonant scales, those minors, actually come into play, and I'll show you here in a sec.
Well, here's one for you though. You know, Eddie didn't realize he didn't really know what he was formulating. It was all, that's a feeling that
he taught
Eddie
himself.
had.
Yeah.
That was all him, because most of that just came from a feel. It didn't come really from him knowing the modal structure of the scale that he was playing behind a chord progression of what rhythm or whatever.
Yeah, he never formally taught.
No. Yeah, really. So that was, I don't really consider that guy a human being. So I think he come from another planet, as we all did, but his was special.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my question.
Okay. So here we are looking at the scale, right? So if I grab my guitar.
Okay, it does start C at the bottom, and that would be your root, which is your Aeolian mode usually is your root of the scale.
Okay, but think of it this way, okay? And I'm looking at my guitar. We got a G on the 3rd fret and a on the 5th fret, right?
Right.
But in between, we have a G sharp.
Or A flat.
Or an A flat, exactly. Each of those, because what that is, that's a cusp between the G and the A. You're getting energy from both of those on that particular note that's in between.
Okay.
So the G would be on this chart, the throat chakra, and the A would be the 3rd eye. So you're picking up both of those energies on the G sharp, A flat. So every one of these notes that you're looking at has some kind of spiritual meaning. In this case, I'm on this particular day that I chose, which was the day before my heart attack. Interesting.
Wow.
It was a B sharp, or B major rather, which was the crown chakra. And each note is related to a main tenant or understanding. I understand right there. It's also related to a planet as well. So you can take this as far as you want to go with converting sound into a deeper meaning.
Cool. Okay. You know, I follow a lot of the big guitar players, and I've noticed the difference between what they do follow. I'm a big Vi fanatic. A lot of the big guitar player guys, you know, and I noticed them guys always following in the same scale structure. A lot of the guys do. They have that feeling. Now you've got those guys that are just feeling players, and then you have the guys that are very schooled.
Yeah, like neoclassical sound, like Yngwie. Now
sure.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. The first time I ever heard Yngwie Malmsteen, I didn't know what to think. I thought it was some old guy that's, you know, been playing for 50 years, and it was an 18-year-old kid that was back in the Steeler days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that's impossible. That's not guitar playing.
Yeah.
That's what Nako for the Medicine for the People, and then Trevor Hall, they purposely create music to help you heal or to trigger certain parts of you. So they're the type of healing artists out there. They purposely create music to help you heal in a certain aspect, or for them to purposely get a message across for you to heal a certain chakra in your body.
Well, sure. For myself, I can sit down because I've got like a couple different rigs that I use at the same time, and I can completely put myself in a meditative state where I have no thought of anything other than what's coming out my hands. It's a real if you know what meditation is like and where it puts you at. Music, if you know it well and been doing it a long time, it can put you in a completely different dimension almost. So yeah, that's true. Music does it for you.
My question to you would be, what is your name first?
Rich.
Rich. Okay. My question to you, Rich, would be, do you hear high-pitched frequencies?
Sure do.
Okay. Let's do an experiment. What do you hear right now?
Barely coming through.
No, I'm saying, what do you hear? Because I'm just going through what I'm hearing. I want to see if what I hear is the same as you. What are you hearing for a high-pitched frequency right now?
Oh. Just really high pitch. I don't have perfect pitch, so I'm not going to be able to tell you what note I'm at or where you're at.
Well, do you have a guitar nearby?
Yeah, I do.
Find the note on the guitar.
Okay.
I know exactly what I'm listening to. What I can hear, and it's predominantly in my right side, which means it's a current life. What do you hear?
I'm at 32, 432, so it's A is what I hear.
Okay, I'm hearing
it's like almost like the ringing of a phone, phone dial when you pick up your phone, like the old school phones.
Okay.
Pick them up and you get that dial tone. That's that note I hear.
That's interesting. Okay, because I'm hearing the B. So I'm hearing the crown chakra. You're hearing the third eye.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
You know, that's kind of weird too, because I tend to fall into the minor scale a lot. So and the natural minor. Yeah.
Like a minor pentatonic, right?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Now that you are aware of these high-pitched frequencies, figure out which one it is, line it up to which chakra you're hearing it from. You might want to bring your meditation into that, because that's the frequency that you're pulling in.
I know this. I find myself like I play to multiple backing tracks. I've got probably 1,000 of them just, in memory files. And that's the ones I fall for. I tend to fall into a lot more, So what's cool about the minor scale though, you can take it anywhere, especially if you're a jazz guy. So it's a lot of fun. It's fun to create, I was a cover guy for 30 years, and I was a weekend warrior, Friday and Saturday nights every weekend, 50 gigs, 50 weekends a year I'd play. And I retired last year, February the 28th. And no more for me. The atmosphere of the 2 and 3 o'clock bars is just not there anymore. It's not good. The very dim and dark. So it's not like it was when I was young. There'd be 150 people at sound check, and now it's crickets until 11 o'clock at night, and then it's not the crowd that you don't want to play for, and that you don't want to play for anymore. So it's changed.
Indeed. I agree.
Now I just do it for myself.
That's good. That's awesome. Well, you got new avenues to take it.
Yeah, sure. Now you open up the door for me, and now maybe I'll explore a little bit more. Now that I know what chakras are, because she has taught me, and the more and more that I listen to you guys, and the more and more I listen and open to her, the more I think I can open up musically. So
I would recommend, Rich, to check out this interview I did with Adrienne Goff. If you haven't seen it yet, it was just a couple days ago, and she did we talked about crystals for each chakra.
Okay.
So you might incorporate that as well into your guitar playing and meditation.
Sure. Yeah. I use one of her crystals as a slide. It sounds crazy. I have one downstairs.
Yeah, like a gem wand or
it
something.
sounds crazy. It sounds crazy,
Yeah.
especially with like a high gain. It's really just eerie. So it's cool. I don't know. I experiment with all kinds of stuff.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
Why,
Yeah.
thank you.
My pleasure, brother.
Hey, Rich, do you have a YouTube channel?
No, actually I do, but there's not much on it, just videos of her and the kids.
I've
so,
told him hundreds of times
yeah.
to start doing stuff
Yeah.
online and, you know, even testing products
Well,
because
I'm a
he's
gear
sold
freak.
guitars forever. So
Yeah.
he knows all the good stuff, you know.
Yeah,
Just
no,
like,
I
work
recommend
from
it,
home,
man.
do something you
That'd
are
be way-
passionate about.
You know, I will. I think I'll get myself started back up at it again. I think, you know, because I've got a lot of gear, so I like to review a lot of stuff. And yeah.
Well, I was thinking about your playing too.
Oh yeah. I'll send you some video stuff. Yeah, I'll do some stuff on here. I've got a lot of like rock stuff where I played in a lot of bars and stuff like that. I don't know if it's much of your music. We played like Rush and Dream Theater and stuff like that. So
that's all of our music.
Yeah.
Even us young people.
Yeah, right. Cool.
Rush is okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
no.
Rush.
Big Rush fan. Since I've been a little kid.
I'd be more interested in your own.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Yep.
I'll have to put some stuff together and get it on in a rush.
I love your
It doesn't
pictures,
take. It doesn't take long. It's pretty easy to get on. Pretty
In a
quick.
rush, no pun intended.
Yeah, right. Totally. No, and I know.
I love your picture, Phil. It's so great.
I know. So do I. We were talking before you muted us because I was like, check out Phil's pic. I love it.
Amazing.
Love it. He's my favorite on here by far. My favorite.
I used to be in a band where we did the whole front side of the album, Rush 2112.
Oh yeah, hey, my drummer he can play everything from 2112 on to today.
Mhm.
He's a big fan of him. And when Neil passed, it hurt him big time. He didn't
Yeah.
come out of his house for a week. Yeah, he
Yeah.
stayed at home. So
They even played Tool, and I'm a big Tool fanatic because I love the
Yeah.
intricacies of all the
Tool.
different instruments and the meditative states and the lyrics, you know.
they're a very
So,
spiritual band.
yeah.
Very, very spiritual.
Yeah.
That's the best rock band right now. Wow, if you ask me. Playing their music, I found to be very, I mean, I was in a very top-notch band. The players I had played with were all A on their game. And there was some songs that we did from the Tool that took us about 9 months to really make it right. So we would not, those one of those ones where you practice and you go to practice and you worked on that song for 45 minutes and it was 45 minutes every Sunday until, 9 months in and we're finally confident to play it. So
Oh,
I'm
I have
actually-
another
the
question.
opposite with like the Dream Theater stuff, but we picked up on the Dream Theater stuff really, really quick. And it was like, get it, work on it for a week and we're playing it that Saturday. So
I'm going to see Sammy Hagar, White
great.
Snake, and Night Ranger in Tampa, July 11th. Mhm.
Cool. Yeah, I was a big Halen fan growing up, but when Hagar got into the band, they wrote probably, in my opinion, they wrote much better music as a Hagar Van Halen. Now they weren't as flashy and didn't have the boom boom like they did with Dave, but they're better music with Sammy. And you notice that Dave wrote everything about not love, and Sammy was all about love. So everything, was always love this, love that, and
Yeah, they went from ain't talking about love to why can't we sing love?
exactly.
Yeah.
So the flash and the boom came with Dave and the karate kicks, and then the knockout punches came out with Sammy. And
Yep.
Eddie really grounded himself with Sammy too. His music was far and beyond some of the best. The piano, all of the orchestration and the organization of how they wrote songs were some of the best ever.
Yeah, they sold more records, recorded more records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when money was being made during album sales too. So
Yeah.
they were right at the spot where the biggest amount of money was made off of discs and records.
Mhm.
That was one of the
had a question on here.
best concerts I ever went to.
I've seen them. I can't count. OU81 tour, Live Without a Net, 5150. Seen them with Dave. Seen him. I tell you, I even seen him with Sharon. because they had the Extreme Singer, and I seen that show. And I tell you what, some of those songs were kick. Yeah. So no one ever thinks about that guy, but that was some really good music.
I think someone on here named Dubstep had a question.
Sure.
Yeah. I was just like, it's just because like I see on this channel, like someone said like if God was like a frequent or a symphony, and like I heard the other girl say, she was like, yeah, we all create the symphony. So like, I don't know, I see things get like on the logical side of the channel, and then I also see it get like on the imaginative side. So this is very versatile.
Oh, that imagination wouldn't have any originality. So
No.
trust me, I had a lot of imagination growing up as a kid. A lot.
I think that's the learning.
Yeah, you only know what you learn, so learn a lot.
Connection between what they were saying, how the symphony and the what you just explained, are you asking the connection between it?
Well, I mean, isn't that why we're all here? Like, is to connect and like to like feel.
I believe we are.
Yeah. In a symphony, you have the orchestra, you have the flutes, you have the horns all separated and everything, but they play, and they all play their own part. But whenever you hear it together, it's fabulous. But each part even has, let's say the saxophone section, you have the soprano sax, the alto sax, the tenor sax, and the baritone sax. And each one of them has their own music to play. And it's that way with each section. So you have...
Right, it's kind of like people.
Right, that's how we are a symphony. Am I right? Did I get that one right?
All right.
Yeah, completely,
Yeah.
completely right.
Everybody's got their own song to sing too.
Wait, Phil just jumps on like...
I love that picture, Phil.
I love it too. You can really see him like, I'm watching y'all.
I don't know where I got that picture from, but
It's amazing.
It is.
I kept saying, is Phil frozen? Is Phil frozen?
What are you doing, Phil?
I was gonna
Where
say,
are you?
I watched one of Phil's videos the other day, and I loved your headpiece.
oh yeah,
Where's Phil's videos? Can I find it?
Oh, they're
I want to
awesome.
see Phil.
Phil
He's on
Christopher.
YouTube.
He's on YouTube.
Phil Christopher's. Yeah,
What's it? What's your name on YouTube, Phil?
Phil Christopher's. PHIL.
Phil Christopher's.
CHRISTOPHERS.
It's not the rugby
There's
one.
also a rugby player. I'm not a rugby player.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Never did, never will.
You know what's interesting about that symphony comment is that there might be all these different symphonies going on at the same time, but ultimately it's just one symphony,
Right.
one song
One song.
that we all sing together.
And
That's
everybody plays their own instrument, whether you have one or you don't. So
We're all co-creators and creators.
sure, we're all capable.
So no matter what type of instrument you are, you're still creating that energy for somebody else to, create too.
Music's a vibration that we create, and it's in nature. It's in everything. So we vibrate with it.
I would love listening, like talking about the pyramids, where the acoustics inside the pyramid were actually proven to be the healing frequencies.
Yeah, they are.
Mhm.
They're
And
actually,
that's why I did the grid with the pyramids.
Right,
Because the
yeah.
energy is coming
Yeah.
from the pyramids. So
uh-huh.
that's
The
the reason
pyramids
why.
are not a damn tomb. I'm telling you, they are not.
No.
Oh no, they're an energy.
They were an energy generating source, and I think they
Or
were
a receiver.
portal. They're portals. I mean, it's blasting out energy.
Right.
I think that well, what the Dogon were once in a conversation that we Benjamin and I once had. He said that the pyramids are, the energy comes in through the top and goes down through and into the aquifers that's below, no matter how deep below, there's water under the ground. And that energy is dispersed throughout.
Yeah.
And how do they know that?
Well, I mean, it goes both ways, I'm going to say, because the water of the Nile will, during, well, when Sirius rises, that's when the waters flow in to those aquifers below the pyramid, and that creates a current that's generated and it goes up.
Okay.
Right. So we would be sending energy out, but we would also be receiving energy in. I was just really shocked that that native tribe would actually know that.
Right. Well, they speak an ancient Egyptian tongue too.
Yes.
So
yeah,
they're connected to that.
Oh yeah,
their
language is very unique. That's for sure. And for today, it's a very old tongue.
Yep.
At least, like Greg said, it's not clicking.
Like and I'll be the first one to say that spirituality is right in front of us.
Jacoo. Look it up.
Dubstep. Spirituality is within us. We are spirit.
I'm glitching. Sorry, my camera's slow. Sorry, my sound is slow. Sorry.
I'm glitching.
You sure it's not you? You're not glitching.
Who's that?
Huh, someone wants to join. No, we're all mutating into something.
I'm muting myself.
I think it is cool how spirituality is everywhere. It's not only like inside of us, it's also like outside of us, like nature and everywhere there is. There's so much synchronicity as well everywhere.
Once again, that's the message that many of us keep getting, is to slow down, to take advantage of just observing it. Look in front of you. Look, if nothing else, like sometimes when I get caught in traffic, I'll look at the license plate numbers in front of me and I'll do the numerology of everything. And it tends to work out to something very synchronistic usually in those situations. But yeah, it is. It's happening all around us.
Yeah. It's about tuning in.
Paying attention.
So I have like a weird question. I know it's not weird, but even I kind of know what it is, but I don't, because it's kind of weird. Why do people call it New Age? Why is it called that? Like
because
are you talking about New Age spirituality?
Yeah, I think she is.
They don't want everyone to know it's the remembering of the old age, the ancient, the original age.
Well, we're going from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius too.
Yeah, but we're the reason we're calling it a new age is because we're in a species with amnesia. We don't remember our previous time in the Zep Tepi.
We used to be in the age of Pisces.
Yeah.
Right. We used to be in the age of Pisces. We're in the age of Aquarius. We have to remember that these planets move slowly, I mean, we move through the zodiac very slowly, of 72 years to 1 degree. And each constellation has 29 degrees in it. So, yeah.
And the sun only moves 1 degree each day. Correct?
Well, this is when you're talking about the precession of this the equinoxes. We're looking at they say it's the rotation because of we got a wobble in our rotation. The axis is at a degree, 23 degrees actually, I believe, off dead center. So that's what moves around at 1 degree every 72 years. I mean, I guess you could say it's the sun that's moving
Right.
that way too.
Well, I mean,
that would be that would kind of tie into what was said earlier about us being in a binary system with Sirius.
Yes.
So that could be that rotation too. As we rotate around this Sirius A and B, we're takes us around the zodiac too. It could be that.
Are we
if you think about it, the wobble that should kind of play out within a year or every day, really.
Are we in a certain constellation?
I'm sorry, what?
Aquarius. Aquarius.
Right. So they go by the I believe the spring equinox. So normally it's going to be well, like, yeah, we just came through the
because they call this Earth Pleiades, and like I know because like I was born on May 19th, like I would be considered a Palladian.
I see what you're saying. Is Earth part of a specific constellation? That's a good question, and I'm not sure, but I don't think it's part of the Pleiades. You may be Pleiadian, but I don't think the Earth is part of the Pleiades. That's the Seven Sisters. You can see them if you look at Orion's belt. Orion's belt points to the Seven Sisters, and you can probably see them with binoculars. If it's a clear night and you don't have any light pollution going on, you can see them with your bare eyes too.
We're coming out of the tip of Sagittarius too. He's got his arm up, and there's a stream of we're in that swirl above his finger. So says NASA.
Well, what's interesting is, you know, they obviously we're in the Milky Way galaxy, but we can see the Milky Way galaxy rising up through the night.
Right.
So if we're watching it, so you know, how can we be part of it if we're watching it?
We're looking at one of the other arms.
I guess, yeah, that would make sense.
We might be off in the corner or the side somewhere, you know, where we're not in the major area of the galaxy. So
it's a swirl, and it has more than one arm, and we're in one arm of it, but we're seeing another arm of it.
So let me ask this question. In 2017, when we had that solar eclipse, September 23rd, 2017, that's when I awoken up, or like fully, you know, woken. Whoa, I knew like who I was, where I came from, this and that. That day was when Nibiru came into the entryway of like around us. What is Nibiru part? Like what place does Nibiru come in, if I can ask that? Like,
how about our trinary star? It's a dim, you know, it's a dark star, but it's still the third one if Sirius is the second.
Well, so I would think Alcyon would be the second.
Well, then there we got 4 stars that are interacting together, 3 bright and 1 dark. And that would make sense. We would need a dark star.
Because I felt that negative energy that day when it entered, because it
Well, that's
crossed.
going to happen again in 24. That same crossing is going to happen again in 24. Something to look forward to, isn't it?
Something I
Well,
thought was
family, I think I'm going to wrap it up at this point. We've been on for 5 hours overall tonight, and well, about 4.5, starting at 7:30. It's been a long night, but it's gone by like this.
Yeah.
It always goes by so quickly when we're hanging out and having fun with one another. So I want to thank everybody that has joined us today here on Zoom, and our new people. We got new family that came and joined us today. Thank you for speaking up. And to those watching on YouTube, join us one day. Break out of your introvertedness. I just want to encourage people to stop by in5d.net to get some high quality shirts like this, and check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/in5d in ways that you can help support the channel. I appreciate any support you can give. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be on tomorrow. I think tomorrow's the day to relax, right? I think that's the message we got. So I'll be rescheduling Tiffany Keeper to come back on sometime next week. She had some issues with Mercury retrograde, so we'll get that straightened out. But in the meanwhile, I think we'll see. Who knows? Maybe I'll come on tomorrow after I have fun at the beach. But anyway, I'm sending you all infinite love and light. Thank you for joining us. I love you all. Namaste. See you the next time.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Many,
everybody.
much healing.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.